Walking onto a used car lot is a lot like walking into a different universe. One where every car has a clean history. Every deal is once in a lifetime, and the salesmen have mastered the art of making eye contact just long enough to hypnotize you. They come armed with big smiles, a hefty dose of trust me energy, and a seemingly genuine interest in your driving habits. But don't be fooled. This isn't just a transaction. It's a psychological game, a battle of wits, and, if you're not prepared, a potential hit to your bank account. The truth is, there's a certain finesse required to survive the used car salesman. These folks are trained to read buyers, to catch that quick glance you make at the shiny sedan in the corner, or that sigh of relief when you see a price that's almost in your budget. The minute they sense your interest, they're in, spinning tales of previous owners who were so careful, and top-notch inspections conducted by their mysterious in-house mechanics. It's up to you to dodge their well-rehearsed tricks and come out with a deal that doesn't leave you regretting your decision for the next 3 years. But fear not, brave car buyer, because with the right mindset and a healthy sense of humor, you can survive this showdown. This guide is packed with practical tips to help you navigate the minefield of good deals and special discounts, while keeping your dignity and your budget intact. Think of it as your survival handbook, a step-by-step plan to fend off the salesman's charm offensive and ensure you're getting what you actually want, without the extras you definitely don't need. So before you set foot on that car lot, take a deep breath and get ready. This isn't just about buying a car, it's about standing your ground, seeing through the shiny promises, and finding something that won't fall apart the second you drive off the lot. With a little preparation and a few tricks of your own, you'll be the one leaving the lot with a satisfied smile, while the salesman wonders how you got away. Ready to learn the art of outsmarting the used car salesman? Let's dive in. Tip 1. Do your homework before you hit the lot. Picture this. You stroll onto the lot, the salesman spots you, and within seconds, you're whisked off to a car that's perfect for you. He's talking features, price, financing options, and throwing in phrases like great deal and one of a kind. Meanwhile, you're standing there with no clue what the car is actually worth, nodding along as he rattles off specs and figures that sound impressive, but could be complete nonsense. The solution? Homework. Before you even think about setting foot on that lot, take an hour or two to research. Look up the average price range for the car you want, check the Kelley Blue Book value, and peek at what other dealerships are charging for similar models. It may feel tedious, but this information is your secret weapon. When you know what a car should cost, it's much harder for anyone to wow you with a price that's secretly inflated. Don't stop at price, though. Research the common issues and quirks of the models you're considering. Every used car has a few skeletons in the closet, and knowing what to expect, whether it's faulty transmissions or notorious oil leaks, gives you the upper hand. That way, when the salesman starts assuring you that this model never has problems, you'll know to raise an eyebrow and ask about that one part that tends to break down at 50,000 miles. Also, make a list of your must-haves and deal breakers before you go in. Salesmen love to dazzle buyers with features they didn't ask for, hoping you'll be so charmed by the heated seats and touchscreen display that you won't mind the 20,000 extra miles on the odometer. When you have a clear list of what you need, you'll be less likely to get sidetracked by bells and whistles that don't actually add value. So, get your research done. Print out price comparisons, bring a checklist, and memorize the quirks of your dream car. When you walk onto that lot armed with knowledge, you're not just another buyer, you're a tough nut to crack. And that, my friend, is the first step to beating the used car salesman at his own game. Tip 2. Watch out for the today-only trick. If there's one phrase every used car salesman loves, it's, "This deal is only good today." They'll say it with the urgency of someone selling life-saving medicine, as if the universe will implode if you don't sign that paperwork right now. But here's the thing. If the deal's really that good, why are they so desperate to close it right then and there? Spoiler alert, they're not. They just want you to feel that sweet, sweet pressure. Imagine you're browsing the lot, feeling out your options when the salesman swoops in, lowering his voice to a whisper. "Listen, I'm not supposed to do this, but for you, I can give you the special price. He might even throw in an intense, meaningful look, as if you're part of some high-stakes undercover operation. But don't fall for it. This one-day-only deal, it's probably going to be there tomorrow, next week, and possibly forever. Here's the trick. Don't react. Instead, nod along as if you're considering it deeply, and then casually ask, "Oh, so this price will be higher tomorrow?" Watch as he backpedals, assuring you that, of course, he'll try to work something out if you decide to come back. Translation? The deal isn't going anywhere. Take your time to think about it without any imaginary deadline hanging over your head. If you really want to mess with them, say something like, "Well, I guess if the car's really meant for me, it'll still be here tomorrow." Salesmen hate this because it implies a level of zen-like calm they can't quite comprehend. Their entire strategy depends on making you feel like a time bomb is ticking. Diffuse it by acting like you have all the time in the world, and you do. At the end of the day, this act now pressure tactic is just a way to keep you from second guessing. But you know better. Great deals don't disappear overnight. So breathe, take your time, and leave that today only nonsense in the dust. You'll be thanking yourself tomorrow, and probably getting the same price, just without the panic. Tip 3. The test drive, more than just a spin around the block. Ah, the test drive. A golden opportunity to see what the car can really do. If the salesman lets you drive more than half a mile, that is. Most of them are hoping you'll take a quick loop around the block, nod approvingly, and say, "Yup, drives like a car." But here's the truth. A spin around the block tells you about as much as a 10-second trailer does about a 2-hour movie. If you want the full experience, you've got to take it for a real ride. When they hand you the keys, don't just settle for that leisurely neighborhood tour. Head for the nearest highway or main road where you can actually test acceleration, braking, and maybe even throw in a tight turn or two. Watch the salesman grip his seat as you accelerate onto the on-ramp. If he's looking nervous, you're doing it right. After all, if he truly believes in the car, he should be fine with a little real-world testing, right? And while you're at it, be extra observant. Listen for any strange noises, clicking, knocking, or, my personal favorite, the infamous mysterious rattle. If the engine sounds like it's auditioning for a percussion solo, that's your cue to dig deeper. Ask the salesman about it and watch as he tries to explain it away with phrases like, "Oh, that's just the charm of an older model." Charm. More like potential repair bill. And don't forget to test the little things. The radio, the AC, the heater, even if it's July. And every button and knob in sight. Turn them all on, even if you look a bit like a kid mashing buttons in an arcade game. The last thing you want is to realize your new car has a heater that only works in reverse, or a window that only goes down if you ask it nicely. The test drive is your chance to make sure everything works, so treat it like a full inspection. So go ahead, take it for the real deal. Treat the test drive as if you already own the car. You'll get a much better feel for it. And, bonus, watching the salesman try to act calm as you take those sharp turns is worth the extra mileage. Tip 4. Inspect the car with a critical eye. Used car salesmen love the phrase, "It's like new." But, like new in the used car world can mean anything from mint condition to, "We scrubbed most of the rust off." Don't be fooled by the shiny exterior or that new car air freshener hanging from the mirror. It's time to channel your inner detective and take a very close look at what you're actually buying. Start with the basics. Take a good look at the exterior. Walk around the car, squint at every panel, and don't be shy about running your hand along the surface. Any uneven spots, mismatched paint, or character dents could be signs of previous damage. And if you ask about a suspicious spot and the salesman responds with, "Oh, that gives it personality," make a mental note to inspect that area twice. Now, pop the hood. This is where the real fun begins. You don't have to be a car expert to notice the obvious. Leaks, rust, or anything that looks like it's held together with duct tape are all warning signs. If the salesman starts distracting you with talk about the horsepower or the surprisingly roomy trunk, stay focused. The engine is the heart of the car, and you don't want one that sounds like it's having a midlife crisis. Don't forget the interior either. Check every seat, every button, every lever. Recline the seats, fold them down, and open every compartment. You'd be surprised at what some used cars have hidden. A broken seatbelt here. A cup holder that's only attached in theory. Or even a little surprise from the last owner who left something wedged in the seat crevice. And be sure to take a sniff. If the car smells like it's been lightly smoked in, you're looking at a fragrance that might never fully go away. By the time you're done, the salesman may look a bit anxious as you complete your thorough investigation. But hey, you're not just buying the like-new story, you're buying the car, flaws and all. Better to spot those quirks now than discover them when it's too late. Tip 5. Bring your own mechanic or ask to take it to one. The used car salesman will assure you that this car has been inspected by our top mechanic, which might actually be code for Jim, who knows how to tighten bolts and make the engine look shiny. But let's face it, that thorough inspection might be as real as a Hollywood smile. To really know what you're getting into, bring your own mechanic. Or at least ask to take the car to a shop of your choice. Imagine the salesman's face when you say, "I'd like my mechanic to take a look at it." It's like you just told him you want to pay with Monopoly money. He might hesitate, throw in a comment about how their team already checked everything, but stand your ground. Just remind him that you'd like a second opinion, for peace of mind, and to avoid buying a money pit with wheels. If you don't have a mechanic in your back pocket, see if they'll let you take the car to a local auto shop. A reputable dealership shouldn't have an issue with this, but if they do, well, consider it a giant neon red flag. They're more than happy to let you test drive it in a circle around the lot, but the thought of it seeing a real mechanic? Suspicious. Once you've got your mechanic in the mix, prepare for the reveal. The hidden secrets of the used car. Suddenly, things that seemed like quirks start to look like problems. That rattle in the engine? Probably needs a new timing belt. The slight pull to the left. Oh, the alignment is out. Might have been in an accident. The list could go on. And as the mechanic points out each little issue, watch the salesman's smile turn into a strained, thin line. Remember, it's better to find out now than a month down the road when the car decides to develop personality issues. Bringing in a mechanic is like having a truth serum for cars. It reveals all the secrets the salesman might wish you'd overlook. After all, you're not just buying a car, you're buying peace of mind. And if that means a slightly disappointed salesman, well, consider it a bonus. Tip 6. Beware of add-ons and extras. Ah, the extras. Just when you think you've settled on a price, the salesman starts sweetening the pot with offers like paint protection, fabric sealant, and of course, the ever-mysterious rust proofing. It's as if you're suddenly buying an armored vehicle instead of a used sedan. But here's the kicker. These add-ons often cost about as much as gold leaf, and, in the end, provide about as much value as an expired coupon. When the salesman starts talking add-ons, it's time to brace yourself. He might tell you the car needs extra undercarriage protection, which sounds like you're going off-roading through a swamp when really, you're just trying to survive the grocery store parking lot. Politely decline and move on. Most of these add-ons are just profit padding disguised as necessities. Then there's the extended warranty pitch. It'll be presented like a life insurance policy for your car, complete with an ominous warning about repair costs. But remember, this is a used car. The extended warranty often covers only the things that almost never break, while the stuff that's actually likely to go wrong, probably not included. Plus, have you ever noticed that they always have just one more amazing deal on the warranty that's for today only? Keep an eye on your wallet whenever the words, "for only a little extra," come into play. If you're really in the mood for some fun, ask about the paint protection add-on. They'll talk about how it adds years to the life of your car's finish, as if your car is about to be displayed in a museum. Truth is, most of this magic coating is no more than glorified wax. And you could probably do a better job with a bottle of polish from the auto store. At the end of the day, the only extra you really need is a little extra skepticism. Stick to the basics, skip the fancy pitches, and remember, you're here for a car, not a platinum-grade all-weather ultra protection package. By dodging the extras, You'll save a bundle, and maybe even leave with your sanity intact. Tip 7. Stay firm with your budget. The minute you step onto that lot, the salesman's mission is clear. Get you to spend just a little more. You'll walk in with a firm budget in mind, and he'll nod sympathetically. But within minutes, he's guiding you over to a vehicle that's only slightly above what you're looking to spend. A little nudge here, a little add-on there, and suddenly you're looking at a car priced as if it's going straight to a red carpet event. Here's the key. Treat your budget like it's written in stone. That number isn't just a guideline. It's your survival line. When the salesman says, "Oh, but for just a bit more, you get the upgraded model," give him a polite smile and say, "I think I'll stick with what I've got." Sure, he'll try to talk you into the extra bells and whistles, maybe even pull out a calculator to show you how little the payments increase. Don't fall for it. Those small numbers add up faster than you can say buyer's remorse. One trick salesmen love is to switch to talking in monthly payments. "It's only $25 more a month," they'll say, waving a hand like $25 is nothing. What they don't mention is that this adds up to $300 more a year, and over a few years, you're suddenly in deeper than you ever planned. Don't be distracted by monthly payments. Stick to the total price. It's like looking at the whole pie instead of a single slice. If you need to, rehearse a few phrases before you go in. "No, thank you. I'll stick with my budget. I appreciate the offer, but I have a strict limit." It might feel silly, but having these lines in your back pocket will keep you grounded when the pressure's on. Picture it. He's trying to get you to upgrade to leather seats, and you deliver your prepped line with such calm confidence. It's like you're on a car buying game show and just nailed the final question. At the end of the day, the salesman's job is to sell you a car, and your job is to stick to what's right for you. Keep your budget as unmovable as a parked tank, and you'll leave with a car that won't haunt your bank account every month. Tip 8. Master the art of the poker face. Nothing gives a used car salesman more joy than seeing a sparkle in your eye when you spot the one. A raised eyebrow, a subtle grin, a barely whispered, "I love it." All of these things send up flares that say, "Please, charge me more for this car." Salesmen are trained to sniff out enthusiasm like bloodhounds, so if you want to get the best deal, it's time to bring out your best poker face. Imagine yourself as a secret agent, or maybe a stoic detective in a crime drama. You're there to inspect, ask questions, and stay completely indifferent to whatever gleaming beauty is parked in front of you. The trick? Practice phrases like, "Well, it's all right," or "It's not bad." Nothing makes a salesman scramble faster than a buyer who just seems so-so about a car. He'll start sweetening the deal in ways you never imagined, just to see you nod a little harder. If he tries to reel you in with an amazing deal, respond with a subtle eyebrow raise and a calm, "That's interesting." Or, if you're really feeling bold, add a little sigh, as if you're deeply underwhelmed. Watching a salesman try to figure out why you're not jumping at his incredible offer is like watching someone realize their magic trick isn't working. Another tactic? Throw him off with a curveball question. While he's busy hyping the premium sound system, hit him with, "How does it handle on snowy mountain roads?" Or, "Will this model fit 2 adult Great Danes?" Suddenly he'll be scrambling to keep up with your expectations instead of the other way around. And if you really want to test his limits, mention that you're considering a few other options. Nothing says, "I'm in control here." Like hinting that his beloved car might not even make the cut. Stay neutral. Keep him guessing, and watch as the price gets a little friendlier with every second of your impeccable poker face. So, remember, no smiles, no sparkles in the eyes, no sudden squeals of joy. You're a buyer on a mission, a mystery to be solved. And if you pull it off, you'll leave with a price that's as polished as that poker face. Tip 9. Take a break before you sign. After hours of negotiations, test drives, and discussions about whether the premium floor mats are really worth an extra $200, you're finally at the table. The salesman has that gotcha grin on his face, and he's sliding over the paperwork with the flair of a magician revealing his final trick. This is it. The moment they want you to feel trapped, eager, and just exhausted enough to sign without a second thought. But here's the twist. Don't. Right when you're about to pick up that pen, stand up, stretch, and say, "I'm going to take a little break to think it over." Watch his expression morph from smug satisfaction to mild panic as you casually head for the door, or ask where the bathroom is. You might as well have told him you're calling a lawyer. A sudden break right before signing gives you the clarity to think, and more importantly, it leaves him wondering if he's losing the sale of the century. There's a good reason for this. In the heat of the moment, it's easy to get swept away by the promise of limited-time discounts and exclusive upgrades. But stepping away, even for 5 minutes, gives you a chance to shake off the sales pitch haze and think clearly about the numbers in front of you. Stand by the water cooler, check your phone, or send a quick message to a friend who's ready with that "Are you sure?" pep talk. Trust me, it works wonders. Now, if you want to have some fun, tell the salesman something vague like, "I just need to step out for a moment. I forgot to check on my horoscope for the day." Watch him try to process whether you're kidding or serious. And who knows, maybe Mercury really is in retrograde, and a little pause will save you from a major misstep. By the time you come back, you'll be refreshed and ready to tackle the final round of negotiations with a clear head. Meanwhile, the salesman will be on edge, unsure if you're about to sign or bolt. And remember, if something in that paperwork still feels off after your break, don't hesitate to take another one. You're in control here, not them. Make them sweat a little. After all, you're the one driving this deal. Tip 10. Know when to walk away. The grand finale. The moment of truth where you decide whether you're driving off the lot or making a dramatic exit, keys unclaimed and wallet intact. Sometimes the best deal is the one you don't take. If that little voice in your head is whispering, "Run," then it's time to listen. After all, cars are like buses. If you miss one, another will come along, hopefully without character dents and a mysteriously sticky steering wheel. The secret here is to recognize that walking away isn't a failure, it's power. The salesman, bless his heart, will likely try every trick in the book to keep you there. He might lower the price. Suddenly, that lowest possible figure drops by $1,000. Or maybe he'll bring in the manager to sweeten the deal. But here's where you hit him with your best line. "Thanks, but I think I'm going to keep looking." Watch as his expression shifts from hopeful to mildly horrified, as though you just canceled Christmas. For maximum impact, keep it cool and confident. Avoid saying, "I need to think about it," or "maybe I'll come back." Those phrases translate directly to, "I'm still interested." Instead, go for something definitive, like, "I think I'm good." Or, if you're feeling particularly theatrical, "I have other options." Few things make a salesman panic more than the idea that their precious car isn't the one. If he tries a last-minute pitch as you walk away, hit him with a classic line. "Thanks, but I'm just not feeling the vibes." Imagine explaining that to his manager later. Yes, they would have bought the car, but the vibes were off. Nothing says mystery buyer like a vague, slightly spiritual response. He'll be left wondering if he's just missed out on selling a car to a famous influencer. In the end, knowing when to walk away keeps the power in your hands. Remember, you're the buyer. You have the cash, the power, and the sense to avoid a deal that doesn't feel right. So, if things seem off, turn on your heel and strut off that lot like you're starring in a slow-motion action movie. You'll be leaving with your confidence, dignity, and wallet intact. And maybe, just maybe, the perfect car will be waiting for you at the next dealership. Congratulations, car-buying warrior. You've survived the high-stakes jungle of the used car lot, dodging every limited-time deal, sidestepping the premium upgrades, and managing to hold on to your sanity. You walked onto that lot. They saw you as just another buyer, but you left as something far more mysterious. The one that got away with a good deal. Think about it. You've mastered the art of the poker face, learned the power of no, thank you, and discovered that few things make a used car salesman sweat like a well-timed bathroom break. You're practically a car-buying ninja, slipping through the tricks, deflecting the add-ons, and leaving the salesman questioning his very existence. Who knew that buying a used car could feel like a showdown in an old Western? And let's not forget the true victory here. You didn't just walk away with a car. You walked away with your pride, your budget intact, and the knowledge that you were immune to phrases like once-in-a-lifetime deal and today only. You've unlocked a level of resistance that few ever reach. Heck, next time you'll walk in with an aura of untouchable buyer so powerful, salesmen might avoid you on sight. But here's the best part. You now hold the keys, pun intended, to car buying wisdom. So whether you're headed back to the dealership, helping a friend, or just laughing about that charming engine rattle story, you've got the skills to tackle any used car lot that comes your way. The salesman might have thought he had you, but you were the one in control all along. So give yourself a pat on the back and a little victory lap around the parking lot. You made it out, intact, empowered, and maybe even a little bit of a legend in the world of car buyers. Remember, the car might be used, but the survival skills? Brand new. Safe travels, wise buyer, and may your next adventure be as smooth as your negotiating skills.